Good afternoon, I'm Jacinta with 2NURFM Hunter News. Australia Post say they are saddened by the loss of a long-term Warners Bay employee, Steve Hodge, who reportedly had a long history of mental health issues prior to yesterday's shooting. Hodge was shot dead by police outside the Warners Bay post office after lunging at officers with a knife. Australia Post released a statement this morning offering condolences to Hodge's family and will provide counselling services for staff as police continue to investigate. The New South Wales Greens are shocked their Senate motion in support of Newcastle City Council's investment policy was voted down by both the Coalition and Labor. The policy pushes for environmentally and socially responsible investments, and the Greens have suggested Labor's commitment to the coal industry is a factor in the no vote. Green Senator Lee Rhiannon says the move is disappointing.
It is a shame that the Labor Party in the Senate have failed to back their own colleagues on Newcastle City Council. These people took a very simple motion to the council and gained support, a motion that clearly would have wide public sympathy, and it addresses the need for council investment policies to take an environmentally and socially responsible approach.
A derailed freight train at Martins Creek Quarry has forced trains between Paterson and Dungog to come to a halt. The locomotive derailed at around 9 a.m. this morning, but is upright and there have been no injuries reported. Buses will replace trains today for the affected North Coast line as the Australian Transport Safety Bureau assesses the situation. Passengers are urged to allow extra travel time, listen to station announcements and check indicator boards. Anglo American has rejected plans to film above Denman Hall via drone following former federal MP Pat Farmer's comments about Drayton South mine causing bitter divisions within the community. Drayton South project director Rick Fairhurst says the drone operator had offered to film the event as a show of support for the mine proposal, which was planned to be used for internal promotion. Upgrades along Newcastle Road in Lambton have now been completed. The New South Wales Government's $2 million improvement plan for the Lloyd Road and Moorhead Street intersections aims to help traffic flow, improve safety and prevent crashes. Parliamentary Secretary for the Hunter, Scott McDonald, says this is good news for motorists.
The government has announced today that upgrades have been completed, 2 intersections along Newcastle Road at Lambton. There's been 13 crashes in the 5 years up to 2013, and most of these were involving motorists turning right onto Lloyd Road. So we put traffic lights there, pedestrian crossing, and extending the right turn bay from Newcastle Road onto Lloyd Road.
Today is World Suicide Prevention Day for Newcastle and the Hunter, focusing on reaching out and saving lives. Suicide is the leading cause of death in Australia for people aged between 15 and 44, with men being 4 times more likely to die from suicide than women. Lifeline's Dr. June Anderson says the issue is significant in the Hunter, and having someone to talk to can make all the difference. If you or someone you know is thinking about suicide, call Lifeline on 13 11 14.
Sport for our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club, Fishing Expo, September 13.
Newly appointed Newcastle Knights coach Nathan Brown is excited about the prospect of rebuilding the struggling side. The Knights have been dealt a number of blows in recent times, and most recently taking home the wooden spoon for the 2015 season. Brown says he's eager to rebuild the culture of the club he remembers from his days playing with St George Illawarra.
I remember when I used to come up as a player and you were desperate to be in the under-21s because there was 14,000 Knights fans to watch the under-21s, and so it was the only time you ever got to play in front of a good crowd, and they're the things that we should strive for to get back to. And the guys that come through the Knights then were guys that they wore the jumper with a lot of pride.
Newcastle Rugby League has voted Lakes captain Chris Adams as best and fairest for the 2015 season. The former Knights hooker was frontrunner for the award a number of times during the season, eventually beating out the Rosellas' Warren Shillings. Adams will look to beat out his Wests rival again on Saturday when his sides face off the major semi-final at Harker Oval. Meanwhile, Cessnock halfback Liam Foran and Lakes prop Hayden Jeans will both be eligible to take the field in this weekend's semi-finals after being cleared by the Real NRL Match Review Committee. That's sport, I'm Kyle Miners.
2NURFM News Time is 10 past 12.